Today's topic is sustainable development. Sustainability of development in our textbook page number 14. What is sustainable development? Please take your notebook, fresh page, write the heading and write these value points. What is sustainable development? Sustainable development is the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. This is one of the definitions given by Brundtland Commission report. Sustainable development is the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. We do not destroy our environment. We have to utilize our nature and environment in a judicious way, and it has to be handed over to the next generations also without endangering it. This topic we are learning already in geography also. These are all interdisciplinary topics and it's needed for our sustainable development of our country and human beings and our ecosystem and so on and so forth. Page number 14 in our textbook. Suppose for the present particular countries get developed, we found certainly like this level of development to go further or at least be maintained for future generations. This is obviously desirable because second half of the 20th century a number of scientists have been warning that the present type and levels of development are not sustainable. So there is a box given in our textbook. It's very good to understand. We have not inherited the world from our forefathers. We have borrowed it from our children. This shows our moral responsibility to the future generations without endangering the environment. We have to live in a better way. In our textbook, they have given two examples. Example 1, they used to ask a question like that. With the example, we have to highlight. Example 1, a box is given with the groundwater in India. What is the speciality of groundwater? It's a renewable resource, and we know that rainwater comes and it goes like that, hydrological cycle like that. Okay. So recent evidence suggests that groundwater in India is under serious threat of overuse in many parts of the country. About 300 districts have reported a water level decline of over 4 meters during the past 20 years. 300 districts minimum water level has declined of over 4 meters. Nearly one-third of the country is overusing their groundwater resource. One-third of the country overusing. In another 25 years, 60% of the country would be doing the same if the present way of using this resource continues. Groundwater overuse is particularly found in the agriculturally prosperous regions. We know what are the use of water in agriculture. Regions of Punjab and Western UP. Hard rock plateau areas of central and south India, some coastal areas and the rapidly growing urban settlements. So why groundwater is overused? Can there be development without overuse? Yes, groundwater is an example of a renewable resource. Renewable resource. And the resources are replenished by nature as in the case of crops and plants. These resources are replenished by nature as in the case of crops and plants. However, even these resources may be overused. For example, in the case of groundwater, if we use more than what is being replenished by rain, then we would be overusing this resource. So, what are the other measures to tackle it and to use it in a proper way? There are major measures like rainwater harvesting and store the water and wastage should be minimized. Like that a lot of things we are learning lower class onwards. That points also keep in mind and make the value points for exam point of view and in our practical life also use water in a judicious way and in a better way. So groundwater is an example of renewable resource and these resources are replenished by nature as in the crops of plants. So crops and plants also we can renew it. Water, then crops and plants also we can renew it. But in the case of groundwater, if we use more than what is being replenished or replaced by rain, then we would be overusing this resource. So be cautious and do the things in a better way and find out the other measures to make it better for the future generations. And the second point is example is given with the non-renewable resource. Two examples given in our textbook. Non-renewable resource, that is the given example. We are familiar with that. Many vehicles we have, so it is very compulsorily we need the crude oil or the petroleum products. So non-renewable resources are those which will get exhausted after years of usage. So we have a fixed stock on earth which cannot be replenished because it's a non-renewable. We do discover new resources that we do not know till now. New sources in this way add to the stock. So however this time, even this will get exhausted or finished. One example regarding groundwater usage, over usage. Another example has been given of exhaustion of what? Of natural resources, especially they are given with the crude oil. Data has been given table 1.7 regarding crude oil reserves. This data with example also try to learn. So by learning these type of topics, it is useful for everybody and for the future also. That's why this type of topics had given to us to learn and understand thoroughly and understand the consequences of this type of usage also. So in the table 1.7, crude oil reserves regarding region wise, we have to analyze it. Middle East, 89 billion tons reserves are ready. It is going to last for 93 years only. United States of America, 4 billion tons as reserve. It's going to will last for 10 years. World as a whole, 137 billion tons as reserve, and number of years reserves will last for 43 years only. We know that now alternative ways of running a vehicle and all discovered by the people. It's good for the society and for the future also. Table analysis. You may ask a question, is it needed? Yes, only very few things only in economics, very simple also. So we have to understand, analyze it, and have to analyze it also region wise and billion tons reserve, and this gives the consequences. If it is exhausted, what are the consequences? Keep in mind and find out the alternative sources, and we should be a part and parcel of that. The table gives an estimate of crude oil resource, page number 15. Example must be written in the notebook with the table analysis. It also tells us how many years the stock of crude oil will last if people continue to extract it at the present rate. The reserves would last only for 43 years more. This is for the world as a whole. So different countries face different situations. So countries like India depend on importing oil from abroad because they do not have enough stocks of their own. If price of oil increases, this becomes a burden for everyone. There are countries like USA which have low reserves and hence want to secure oil through military or recon power. So question of sustainability of development raises many fundamental issues about the nature and process of development. In this context, what is our role also? We have to analyze and do it in a proper way and better way, no doubt. Page number 16. That the consequences of environmental degradation. Environmental degradation. It is not only for state level, national level, it's as a whole world. This issue is no longer region or nation specific. Our future is linked together. Sustainability of development is a comparatively new area of knowledge in which scientists, economists, philosophers, and other social scientists are working together. In general, the question of development or progress is perennial. At all times, as a member of society and as individuals, we need to ask where we want to go, what we wish to become, and what our goals are. Today's assignment is page number 16, question numbers with respect to the topic of sustainability development with examples, question number 9, 10 and 11. My dear children, Ninth question is, why is issue sustainability important for development? So we have to write the answer. What is sustainability or development? That definition, minimum one definition is to be learned. Two examples given in our textbook. That has been learned and written the value points. Broken value points also enough. And your role or my role in order to make it better, and why it's important also, you have to highlight 3-4 sentences. And 10th question is, the earth has enough resources to meet the needs of all, but not enough to satisfy the need of even one person. How is this statement relevant to the discussion development? Explain. These are the very good value words of our Mahatma Gandhi. So we have to explain and how these resources are going to be replenished. You can refer the Google search engine also. Its explanation, at least 10th question explanation, Mahatma Gandhi's verse. It's a good and desirable question for our understanding and analysis and our better development of with introspection. 10th question answer, you can find out 6 sentences from the internet also. 11th question, list a few examples of environmental degradation that you have observed around you. Few examples. 11th question, they are telling few examples. At least 1 and 2 same we can write, and another one you have to find out from your surroundings and come to the conclusion of this chapter also. Like that, this chapter also over. Thank you. All the best.